What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Should like and sub, and let's get into this. Depending on who you are, you either have a very happy vision of the future for Marvel, or you have a less rosy. But either way, even the most negative of naysayers are seeing some form of a change in the company, as opposed to the Disney Star Wars, which is going to double down and not changing whatsoever. That being said, obviously we got Deadpool and Wolverine, and we've got some other changes. Deadpool Wolverine doesn't really count as MCU movie. That's more of a Fox X-Men saying goodbye. And obviously we have to get through Agatha all along, and Ironheart, and Captain America, and Thunderbolts. Oh, until we get to Fantastic Four, which also depends on how you feel about Pedro Pascal. But now we've got some footage. It's not going to be a CGI shit show. It is going to be at least practical suit on set, and then probably very highly CGI'd up on the face. But here we go. Here's one of the first footages we saw of them on set adding the mask on. You can see full body, so not going to be in a jumpsuit. Uh, Boy, that costume must be fun to wear on set. Probably very hot. I hope the man can pee without help. But yeah, one more time. So we are going to get a practical effect, the thing, and then obviously some CGI enhancements. Personally, I consider that a little bit of good news. This on top of the footage we saw, some of the first looks of there's the costumes, very much going with it is not the 60s, but it is the world where it is an alternate retro 60s future, both, and they think they mention it here, not just in the look of things, but also sort of the feeling and the vibe of the world that they're in before eventually making their way into the sacred timeline, or they call it Earth 616, but it really should be Earth 1999, whatever the hell it is. You see, just going right along from the first looks we got of them, that they're going to have several different costumes and outfits, and they already seem like they are the fully formed Fantastic Four, with branding in the Baxter Building and all the other things, floating cars, Herbie, all that. You can see here more showing that, yeah, when Johnny goes flame on, it will be in those costumes, but it will be the practical. I mean, not practical. We're not really going to set him on fire, but it's going to be the look of a Johnny Storm. Thankfully, really also it comes down to what you think about Pedro. Do you think Pedro's going to be a beta male? Do you think he can handle the manhood of a Mr. Fantastic? Or if I was going to say, it looks here, I mean, he doesn't look horrible in the role. This is him in like civilian clothing. But like I said, like the look of Johnny Storm. And I was even one of the people that was happy that they got Eddie from Stranger Things to do that role. I think he'll do very well. As for the film itself, you can see them describe it here. It is a period film, and there was another piece of art released with Johnny flying in the air, which we just saw, making a 4 symbol. There are a lot of smart people who noticed that the cityscape does not look like New York that we know, or the New York that existed in the 60s in our world, and those are some smart observations. So just confirming that it will be a retro futuristic 60s world that is not our world. Earlier they were talking about how excited they are to be doing Fantastic Four with Matt, their director, of course, who did WandaVision, so that should fill you with plenty of trepidation if you were wondering about that. But they all seem happy for it, and they seem to think that this is the best way forward. The director talking about that more than just the visual aesthetics. The 60s to him is all about optimism, at least until that whole Vietnam. It's about looking to the stars and dreaming about traveling into space. It's about how, with the right heart and the right mind, you can do anything, which is what the Fantastic Four is all about. And I agree with that. Previously, Quinn had said that the film would be very different than the other Marvel movies. He said, I knew they'd be talking about making the Fantastic Four in the Marvel universe for a while. I had to talk with the director, and it was very clear with the kind of people who they were attaching to it, what they were trying to do. There are aspects of it that are very much a singular thing and its own thing. Quinn, of course, Eddie from Stranger Things, also added, working with Vanessa, Pedro, and Evan, they're really consummate pros and brilliant in everything they're in. So I'm really looking forward to establishing this familial dynamic with them and with Matt Shakeman's guidance. Yeah, just going around, the real thing that should concern everyone is this, of course, you're going to get Shia LaBeouf as the Silver Surfer, the Herald of Galactus, who is not a giant smoke monster. He at least looks like Galactus. I don't know. So the end result of this is, how do you feel about the fact that they are doing practical effects for the most part for Thing? I think it's great. Now let's see how they're going to deal all the other things. Right now, for me, Pedro is Mr. Fantastic, and how and when they get them out of that world, and then of course the introduction of Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom will be in the, if not the end, somewhere in the middle part of the Fantastic Four movie, and then he'll be obviously the starring role of Doomsday, and then probably play multiple roles in Secret Wars. Let me know what you think of all this. Be sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.